Yes. What is good, my people? Welcome back to Computer Music Academy's weekly homework podcast. I'm your host, Tashira Say. Thank you for watching and thank you for listening. Welcome to week number 83 of the weekly homework assignment / podcast. And shout out for our new intro, my man Sho-Nuff contributing this week. Man, that's a nice one. We'll be using that for the next 3 weeks and then moving on to something else. But in the meantime, that is a banger. So, how the hell is everyone doing? I hope you're well. I'm doing pretty good. I'm very interested in getting this podcast done for the simple fact that it's going to be very interesting. And I think you'll agree that I'm right at least 90% of the time when I say something like that. Anyhow, so what are we doing this week? Well, a number of us at CMA, a number of you who actually watch this show and are fans of, the YouTube channel and stuff like that, a number of us are of age. Let's just say it like that. A number of us actually grew up in the 80s. And I said, you know what? The 80s gets a bad rap. When you really think about it, on the scale of rating different eras or decades or however, the 80s kind of gets a bad rap for, we had all of the goofy hairstyles and clothes and corny movies and TV shows. And yes, there was a ridiculous amount of just horrible music in all genres. I'm not just talking about pop. There was just some whoa kind of music. But then there was some really great, just incredible music that came out of the 80s. I mean, if you know anything about me, you know I listened to everything. Back then, there was no hip hop station. There was no smooth jazz station, or for the most part, there really wasn't like a traditional jazz station, not in all the markets. So, certain genres didn't have a place. So you were listening to stations that played a little bit of pop, a little bit of R&B, a little bit of rock. And they were still urban. They were still, rock and country. But there were stations that play a lot of that stuff. And that's where my love for music came in, is just being able to listen to a little bit of everything and growing and having an appreciation for all of this stuff. So I went to the people and said, look, let's create I guess you could say a tribute or a throwback to 80s music. If this was 1985 as opposed to 2015, what kind of music would you create? And we actually have 8 submissions. Very interested in hearing what everyone is doing. But first, the guy who turned his in first, and I do mean like the next day after I gave the assignment, once again, our man, Stephen G. So let's see what he's doing. That's how you kick off a 80s joint right there. Steven Genius coming through once again, and it's good to have him back in the fold, man. Because I've missed that kind of stuff from him. Holy crap, dude. That was dope. That was 80s right there. I want to say it was 85, which it may have been, but that was definitely 80s right there. Like the kind of synth pop, which was huge in the 80s. Synth pop, synth R&B. You even had a lot of synth stuff and rock and roll. I mean, let's not speak on Jump by Van Halen, one of my favorite songs of all time, and so many others. But yeah, that was really, really nice. Really curious. At least I don't recognize it offhand. Wondering where those vocal stabs came from. If that was like a royalty-free sample pack, or if he actually took that from a song. But I enjoyed that thoroughly. Thank you, Steven. All right, moving over to gentleman who has just been killing it, who's been consistently coming through the entire season at this point. And he continues to grow every time he turns in a submission. And you can definitely see that he's learning, he's acquiring skills, he's getting his confidence up, and he's just continuing to add and mature and evolve as a musician. And I'm really curious to see what my man JSP8 has brought to the table. Let's get it. Oh boy, JSP8. Ooh, Lord. Yo. That was nice. This dude is killing it. He is killing it this year, man. Just constantly working. And you can tell his confidence is getting up, just by listening to his submissions and how he has evolved with each. But man, I loved everything about that track. I loved the sound of it. I loved all the synth work. And before I go any further, I did say that the people can sample. You know, they can sample some stuff from the 80s or whatever, but not just sample something from the 80s and chop and flip or whatever. No, surround it with 80s sounding instruments, guitars and synths and 80s drum machines and stuff like that. So just wanted to put that out there. But I loved everything about that track. I especially loved the fact that that the bass line sounds like Knight Rider, which, come on, dude. If you came up in the 80s, you know Knight Rider. David Hasselhoff, the Hoff, man. Speaking of which, because he's like huge in Germany, I think it is. I need to ask Stephen G, has he ran into him or something like that? Anyhow, JSP8, man, continue doing what you're doing, my man. You are bringing it this year. Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right, moving on to the guy who actually provided our intro for this week, representing Detroit, my man Sho-Nuff. Let's get it in.
There's no future without you.
Once again, Sho-Nuff has showed up and showed out. Holy crap, I was not expecting that. For anybody that remembers, he just pulled a Silo Nazareth. Shout out to him. Holy crap, dude. Let's unpack that. Jeez. So, first off, he kicks it. The song starts out with classic 808 kick, snare, hi-hat, clap. And then the vocal stuff comes in. And as soon as I heard it, I was like, holy crap. Like, I'm still not 100%. I still, I'm over the infection and everything, but I still have this really bad cough. And as soon as the vocal stuff came in, I'm over here just choking and barking like, oh no. I lost it. Like, wait a minute, what the hell just happened? And then the song builds with the synths and the bass and everything. And then actually gets to what I didn't even know was coming. I wasn't even expecting it. The verse actually kicks in. And I'm sitting here listening to it. And shout out to my man DJ V if he's listening. Shout out to my man DJ Grilla if he's listening, because they're right outside of Chicago or in Chicago. It hit me like D-Train or Colonel Abrams. If I'm not mistaken, they're from Chicago. I could be wrong. But that's exactly what the vocals hit me like. And I'm like, oh, dog, am I back in late elementary, early middle school, when that stuff was hot, when R&B started making this transition and evolving, or I should say I guess you could say that, when R&B started transitioning a little bit and moving more over to more like house and electro kind of stuff. That's the type of stuff that I was listening to. Like I said, D-Train, Colonel Abrams. Oh my God, I can't think of anybody else right now. And then, oh my God, the keys in there reminded me of, I cannot think of the guy's name right now. It's actually like a white jazz artist, but he made some stuff like that back in the 80s. And it was like, do 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 do. Oh my God, I can't think of the name of the song or the artist right now. I want to say Written Hour or something like that, but whoa, that track was nasty. That is what I'm talking about. Okay, we're only 3 tracks in. Tell me I don't know how to pick these assignments, dude. And tell me that my people at CMA don't know how to rip them. Come on. All right, Sho-Nuff. Thank you, my man. That was incredible. All right, going down to visit my man in South Carolina. Our man, your man, DJ Locturnal. Let's get it in.
My calculations are correct. When this baby hits 88 miles per hour, you're gonna see some serious shit. Miles per hour. Calculations are correct. When this baby hits 88 miles per hour, you're gonna see some serious shit.
Lockdown. Woo. Man. That's it. That is exactly what I'm talking about right there. DJ Lockturnal. Once again, shout out for the use of the Dr. Brown sample from Back to the Future, the first one. Jeez, man. And then you actually get into the beat, the 808s and the snares and the hi-hats and everything, and the little bass and everything. And then the song transforms once it gets around the halfway point. Throw a little vocoder over Dr. Brown's voice, and then bring in some other synth elements. Yeah, dude, this is exactly what I'm talking about. And Locke has been delivering, in my opinion, since day one. And I'm going to bring this up once again. JSP is on that same path. Both of you continue what you're doing because you're making great music right now. Seriously. Holy crap, that was dope. All right, moving on a little bit south, down to my man chilling in Tampa, Florida. Always having good weather, and I kind of hate him for that, especially me being in Detroit. But my man, Go 007, let's get his entry. Go. Are you serious, dude? Jeez. Yo, that was dope. Go, once again, this dude, as everyone, the more you do this stuff, you challenge yourself, or you are challenged, and you actually put all your effort into meeting that challenge, but you're having fun at the exact same time, you will evolve, you will progress. And hopefully, the viewers and the listeners are seeing that with everyone that's at CMA, especially this year. This year has just been incredible. But Gold continues to evolve and just put out silliness, just incredible. I can't put exact words to what this dude is doing, but I just know the music is damn good. And I'm listening to it and I'm like, okay, this definitely belongs in the 80s. And I was trying to figure out, would it be maybe like towards the later 80s, maybe. And I was trying to figure out what genre. Okay, well, maybe a little electronic, maybe a little synth pop. Had a little rock element in there. And then once it got towards, I think it's around the 120, 130 mark, that's when it hit me. Since he's closer than everyone else, I know exactly where this track belongs. This belongs on the Miami Vice soundtrack or TV show. That's exactly where this belongs. Right next to Jan Hammer's compositions. That's exactly where it belongs. That is perfect for chasing, Crockett and Tubbs chasing drug dealers through the city, down the freeway, right next to the ocean. And eventually they catch them, at the end, however they do. That's exactly where that track belongs. Man, that is dope. Gold, you are killing it, my man. Thank you for contributing again. Man. All right, we're going back to the West Coast, to a gentleman we hadn't heard from in a few weeks. The gentleman who actually took the first ever Bang Show beat battle. And if you haven't watched the Bang Show, you need to go on the channel, on the CMA channel, look through the playlist, and you can actually find the Bang Show. We had a lot of fun doing that. Myself, everyone at CMA, even my people, Shay Cobain and Carnage the Executioner. We had a lot of fun. That was 4 weeks. That was just incredibly fun. And this gentleman right here took the whole thing. So it's good to have him back in the fold for this year. My man, Ray D 3000. Let's go. That is your Bang Show Series 1 winner. And going on 3 years at CMA. Ray D 3000 representing Sacramento. Man. Ooh. It doesn't get more 80s than anything that we've been playing throughout this podcast. And that track right there just contributes. Holy crap, dude. I mean, the synth, the drums, especially the drums, because in the 80s were a lot, well, not all of it, but the 80s had a lot of synthesized drums, and then the drums had reverb on them. So Ray D definitely delivered there. And just the body of the song itself, man, oh boy, that is so 80s. And there was even a point, I think it was around like the 128 mark, something like that, where he actually had like these crazy rolls. Oh my God. Man, Ray D, welcome back, my man. Holy crap. Way to kill that one. Jeez. And moving on to the finale of our 80s extravaganza. My man, Mr. Wallace. And he told me what he was doing with this. So I'm very curious to hear it. Let's get it in. Okay, Mr. Wallace. Oh my. Now that was nice. That was nice. Brought it up a little bit, kept it modern, but I know for a fact that's an 80s sample that he used. He was saying in his submission when he sent it that he spent a ridiculous amount of time, and I can definitely relate. Oh, trust me. But he spent a ridiculous amount of time in the 80s hanging with his pops, riding in cars, and, his pops would play, and that was actually a Johnny Taylor sample. So he would play stuff like Johnny Taylor and whatnot. And my pops was the exact same way. Not necessarily the Johnny Taylor, but he had his stuff that he would constantly play when we ride somewhere, and I was a daddy's boy, so to speak. I was always hanging with my pops. So I can definitely relate to having memories of music in particular, because music has always been my thing. But having music that reminds me of my pops, I wish he was still here, but I will always have those memories and that connection with him, because that's what we were about, definitely. But man, loved it. Wasn't the sound of it itself wasn't really 80s. It was more modern, but like the use and the chops of the sample, he did his Mr. Wallace thing. He brought it to he brought the double negative edge to it, as he normally does. Really, really enjoyed that track, my man. Man, what I would be very curious to hear how it would sound had he used some 80s type drums and stuff like that, which is really where I wanted to go with this assignment, and where pretty much everybody else did. But I'm just curious how that would have sounded with that, to have the DMX or with the Fairlight drum machines, or a couple different old instruments. Man, that would have been cool to hear something like that. But this, very solid, as usual. So, shout out to my man, Mr. Wallace, AR Music, Ray D, 3000, Gold 007, DJ Locturnal, Sho-Nuff, JSP8, and Stephen G. And thank you, the watcher, the listener, the supporter, the person who comments, shares our videos, and just gives us a bunch of support every single week. We do appreciate it. If you would like to be a part of what we do here at CMA, come on over to computermusicacademy.com and join us. It is that simple. I'm done for the week. You enjoy your week, and we'll talk to you next time. See ya.
Do you feel the same? I love you.